the best Houston Astros baseball team in history.
Mentioned that they got to 44 games over 500 for the first time. That 98 team got to as high as 43 games over 500. And when you compare the two teams, the road record continues to stand out for this year's group.
Yeah, it's amazing what they're able to go out there and do on the road. The Astros, phenomenal as far as the comparison is concerned. The road record at 56 wins for the Houston Astros. But the Astros of 1998 really took advantage of that Astrodome field, but the pitching staff. So the one thing that really stick out for both these ball clubs, Randy Johnson drew comparisons to Justin Verlander and vice versa. So the pitching, some timely hitting really paid off.
Our power player presented by TXU. What a game one it was for Carlos Correa.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the first time since May 4th that he's had multiple extra base hits in one game. It was great to see him go up there, make the adjustments, and finally see some success. It pays off a little bit to be patient and continue to work at your craft, and he's paying off right now. This is a great time for him. We talked about last year how he heated up going into the playoffs and really came up with some clutch hits, and the clutch hitting showed up tonight.
Huge first game for Carlos Correa. He's going to get a breather in game two. Dallas Keuchel will be on the mound for the Astros. Another Cy Young Award winner going for Houston as the Astros look for the doubleheader sweep. Houston Astros baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees, that's transparency. And by Volkswagen. West Division champions. It's become a common sight over the last 2 years. The Houston Astros celebrating another championship.
The Astros are division champs.
American League champions. World Series champions.
Let's take stock of just how special the accomplishments are. Never before had an Astros team won 100 games in back-to-back seasons. In fact, they could have more 100-win seasons these 2 years than the previous 55 combined. No World Series champion has won 100 games in its next season since the 1990 Oakland A's.
That ball hit hard deep to left center field. Grand slam!
And no team in history has ever won as many road games as the 2017-18 Houston Astros. We've witnessed a league MVP, a World Series MVP,
You can kiss that one goodbye!
an All-Star MVP, generational superstars on the rise, and one of the most dominant starting pitching staffs
Justin Verlander, a shutout.
the league has ever seen. So here they are again, another 100-win season, another division title, a second World Series championship within their grasp. But no matter what happens in the next month or so, the journey has been far sweeter than the destination. So celebrate the moment, Astros fans. They don't come around very often.
Astros have one more goal on their minds, and that is a franchise record 103 wins. They can accomplish that tonight with a doubleheader sweep. Game 2 of the doubleheader about to get underway, as the Astros will have Jose Altuve at the top of their lineup. A.J. Hinch going with a whole new lineup in the second game. The starting lineup presented by Southwest Airlines. Jose Altuve didn't play game 1. He'll lead off, followed by the speedster Miles Straw. Alex Bregman is the shortstop batting third. Yuli Gurriel over at third base. Tyler White and Evan Gattis did play game 1. Brian McCann behind the plate batting 7th. Jake Marisnick in center field and Kyle Tucker in right.
Jeffrey Ramirez on the mound, right-hander for the Baltimore Orioles. We will check out some of the numbers on him, but he is heavy on the fastball, slider. He also has a changeup, averaging 92.5 miles an hour on that fastball that Altuve is incredibly aggressive on. Go to that slider. Just around 22-23% of the time. Has that changeup 25-26% of the time. But looking to get ahead with the heater.
So we're underway in game 2. Game 1 lasting just about 3 hours and wrapped up in the 9th inning with an RBI by Carlos Correa. And Hector Rondon, after a couple of base hits to start the bottom of the 9th, able to get a double play and a strikeout to pick up the save for the Astros in game 1 and put them at 44 games over 500 for the first time ever. Altuve grounds one foul. It's 1-2. Jeffrey Ramirez, you saw, initially signed as a hitter when signing with the Arizona Diamondbacks back in 2011. Converted to a pitcher before the 2012 season. Picked up by the Yankees in the Rule 5 draft leading into the 2016 season. And then traded to the Orioles. And Jeffrey Ramirez starts the night off with a called third strike on Altuve. That's how this game begins.
First 3 pitches up in the zone, and then a fastball dotted on the outside corner at 94. Good start for Ramirez.
I'll bring up Miles Straw. Straw 2 for 4 as a major leaguer. Also has scored 3 runs. He's come in a few times as a pinch runner and has a couple of stolen bases. Alan Porter behind the plate. He was not one of the umpires for game 1. Angel Hernandez, who was behind the plate for game 1, will not be an umpire in this game. The home plate umpires getting 1 game each. Two and 1 to count to Straw. Three on the left side of the infield for the Baltimore Orioles against Straw, who normally uses the opposite field quite frequently. Checks the swing here. It's 3-2.
Still filling out my lineup card, TK.
Take your time.
Thank you.
Did you get a chance to get a bite?
A little nibble of a pizza.
Nice.
Yeah.
My pizza's sitting to my left right now.
Let me know when you want to eat that. I'll take over. It's kind of nice that the Baltimore Orioles do not make this a day-night doubleheader, allowing the fans to buy one ticket, watch 2 baseball games. And like we said in that first game, weather has been absolutely beautiful.
Strong gets into this one, sending Mullins all the way back, and that ball's gone! Miles Straw hits his first Major League home run to straightaway center field. He even flies around the bases on a home run.
Strawman's got some pop. Congratulations. Welcome to the club, Miles Straw. I told you he was a speed guy.
That was big boy territory straightaway central.
Yeah, it was.
You can hear Springer encouraging him.
Got a little coaching in the dugout.
The last thing a rookie wants to do is draw too much attention to himself. Springer's like, you got to stare to the camera. How about Straw going straight away? Here's Alex Bregman. Miles Straw's 3rd career Major League hit is his 1st career Major League home run. Alex Bregman with a 2-1 count. Alex coming in with 31 home runs on the year. What a feeling that is for Straw to get a start and then to go deep to center.
That is awesome. What a game.
He had 1 home run the entire season at the minor league level.
Come on.
In 516 at-bats, Blummer, he hit 1 at Corpus Christi. He had none at AAA, 265 ABs.
It's easier here in the big leagues. That is not true.
He's hit 3 in his career in 1,554 at-bats. I think he's still surprising himself with what happened.
That smile kind of gives you that idea that he's kind of shocked himself.
Swing and a miss. Bregman goes down.
Look back at Miles Straw, first big league home run. Elevated fastball, did a great job of getting the hands to it and driving through it. That ball punched out of here in center field. That's a pretty good poke. Mattress Firm Supermo gives you a good look at Mullins trying to do his best to rob it. But that's number 1 for Miles Straw. 98 miles an hour off the bat, 29-degree launch angle, estimated 395 feet later.
Yuli with a base hit into right center field. Yuli takes an aggressive turn at first and will hold up. So Gurriel getting his first at bat of the doubleheader with a clean single to right. What do you think his time was around the bases on the home run?
Well, he's immediately thinking, I got to get into scoring position. But yeah, he really didn't break too much of a stride. His jog is a lot faster than some guys' sprints. I don't want to throw too many guys under the bus. But he made it from home to home in 18.8 seconds. 27.2 feet per second.
His first minor league home run came in Lancaster in 2016, his second in Bowie's Creek in 2017, and his 3rd this year at Corpus Christi. And now he gets his first major league home run in his 5th at bat. That's why baseball's so incredible. Yep. Jeffrey Ramirez strikes out the reigning MVP, strikes out an MVP candidate this year, and in between allows a home run to a guy who hit 3 in the minors and over 1,500 at bats. Can never figure it out.
Makes perfect sense.
Now Tyler White with a 1-1 count. Well, it's still kind of dusk. Shark with a base hit around dusk in his 4th at bat. In the first game went 1 for 4. And he goes the other way, and coming on Adam Jones, still coming, diving effort, and a great play by Adam Jones. playing his final weekend in front of the Orioles crowd, and he makes a great catch to end the first inning.
Miles Straw making an impression on this ball club. We've seen the speed, now we see the power.
Astros, Cedric Mullins, Jonathan Villar, Adam Jones, Trey Mancini, Tim Beckham, Renato Nunez all still in there. Just the 7, 8, 9 guys rotating out. John Andrioli, Austin Wynns, and Steve Wilkerson in Buck Showalter's Game 2 lineup.
2015 Cy Young Award winner Dallas Keuchel on the mound for the second game of this doubleheader on the season. This will be his 34th start also. He's over 200 innings, has 151 strikeouts in those 200+ innings pitched. And again, for Dallas Keuchel, it's all about getting through that first inning, avoiding some of that soft contact issues that he creates.
Dallas working with an early 1-0 lead, facing the speedy switch hitting center fielder Cedric Mullins, who has been better this year as a left-hand hitter, batting just 143 as a right-hand hitter in 42 at bats. Dallas ahead 1-2. There's soft contact, tough play for Dallas. Bare hand off balance, throw picked at first by Tyler White. What a play on both sides of that, as Keuchel, the 3-time Gold Glover, retires the speedy Mullins to start the bottom of the first.
There's certain things you can't teach, and it's what you just saw from Dallas Keuchel, bouncing off the mound and gunning down a speedy runner in Mullins. What a play. Helping his own cause.
More of that weak contact, and Dallas having to make a great play.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how he creates some of these soft contact. These are the issues it creates. Sometimes hit into no man's land, but he did a great job of fielding his position. Credit Tyler White with the assist on the pick.
Villar swings and misses. Jonathan Villar, also a switch hitter with better numbers as a left-hand hitter this year. 246 right-handed, 260 overall. Villar and Keuchel teammates with the Houston Astros. Villar played in game 1 of this doubleheader. He started all 3 games in this series. Went 0 for 3 in the first game. He is 1 for 6 in this series with a couple of walks. Teammates Keuchel and VR from 2013 through 15 with the Astros, and Dallas gets the better of his former teammate here, striking him out. First strikeout for Dallas. 2019 season tickets are now on sale, and fans who purchase enjoy benefits like guaranteed 2018 postseason priority access. Visit Astros.com/season tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS for more info. Adam Jones with a nice hand from the crowd here. That's standard on his final weekend as an Oriole. More than likely this will be his final last 2 games with Baltimore, wrapping up with tomorrow's season finale. Dallas drops in the breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1. Upstairs, it's 1-1. Jones hit a double against Justin Verlander. Really the only legitimate hit that Verlander allowed. Justin allowed 3 hits in 6 innings, only 1 left the infield. A couple infield singles that were added to that ledger. As a base hit into center field, and Adam Jones has himself a 2-out hit. Laid back in by Jake Barisnik as we check out the Astros starting defense presented by Xfinity. Jake is in center field tonight. Miles Straw hit the home run. He's in left, and Kyle Tucker is in right field. Yuli Gurriel and Alex Bregman on the left side of the infield. Jose Altuve at second base. Tyler White gets his second straight start at first, and Brian McCann behind the plate for Dallas Keuchel. Here is Mancini. Mancini fouls one off. Adam Jones now with a hit in every game of this series, trying to finish strong in his final few games of the season. Mancini coming in with those 24 home runs, went 1 for 3 in the opener, including a single in the 9th inning. 1 for 8 in the series. High chopper off the plate, coming in. Bregman makes the play, and out at first base is Mancini for the final out of the inning. 1 man left on base. 1-0 Astros after 1.
Be active on Twitter, voting in all these straw polls in this doubleheader. This is a new one. Which Astros player is your 2018 newcomer of the year? Josh James, Martin Maldonado, Ryan Presley, or Joe Smith? A few acquisitions in there. James coming along this last month. Vote at ATT Sportsnet SW on Twitter. We'll reveal the answer later. T-Game.
Julie, how were your in-between game activities?
Ooh, that went fast. Well, by the time I finished up my walk-off interview with Carlos Correa, AJ had already spoken to the media, so I missed that completely. He was quick, but I did get a chance to talk to Justin Verlander and Charlie Morton.
How's Charlie?
Charlie's great. A lot going on with Charlie. All good, though, as we've spoken about before, having their 4th child enter into the world a couple of days ago. It was just a few hours after the Astros clinched the division. So that was a big day in their family.
So I'm guessing you have not eaten.
No. This is about pizza up there?
Yep. Power down some pizza. We go to the 2nd inning. 1-0 Astros. Want to get something sent down to Julia.
Yeah, it'll be nice to return the favor. She's hooked us up so many times over the years.
Ball's ripped but foul. Evan Gattis, Brian McCann, Jake Marisnick in this 2nd inning. Astros have a 1-0 lead on a Miles Straw home run to center field. That's right, the person with all of 3 career minor league home runs hits one to straightaway center. AJ Hinch is going to join us on this broadcast. He'll be with us in the bottom half of the 4th inning, so you want to stay tuned for that. During the course of the game, we may be playing some sound from Justin Verlander, but he had some interesting thoughts, I thought.
I agree.
After the game about the Cy Young vote.
I wonder who he would vote for.
Blake Snell just put together his final start.
Yeah, 5 innings, 4 walks, 10 strikeouts, and his ERA when he came out at 1.89.
Under the glove of Nunez, and Evan Gattis is going to reach first base. It's a ball that Nunez should have made. It'll go down as an error on the Orioles' 3rd baseman, and Gattis reaches to start the inning.
Charging in, just didn't get the glove down.
Did you just hear what I heard?
It wasn't me.
One of the fans just screamed,
What?
"A cannonball!"
No.
Oh, I just heard it.
Yes.
Somebody is on the Blummer cannonball call already in his first AB.
I like it. It's kind of catchy.
Now you heard it.
There he is. Guy's stealing my thunder.
There's a strike. It's 1-1. Look at that. Look how big you got. Fans in the stands of Baltimore using your calls.
Yeah, I can barely fit in this booth. Need a double door to get out of here with my skull.
I love it. I love it. 6 home runs on the season for Brian McCann and hit his first since mid-June.
They aren't home runs, Todd.
They are.
Cannonballs.
Came in Toronto on this road trip. He crushed that pitch.
Yeah, that ball was smoked. Said he's feeling good, healthy. The knee feels good.
Well, he's got a 3-1 count here, so maybe that fan a little foreshadowing.
I like it. And Brian McCann, he can kind of change his approach at the plate, knowing that he's got that healthy right knee to land on.
Hit that solo shot against Marco Estrada into the 2nd deck at Rogers Center. This one he goes the other way, and that's not going to be deep enough for a McCann ball to be played by John Andrioli in the left. And Gattis gets back to first with 1 out. I'll bring up Jake Marisnick. Jake saved the game last night defensively.
Yeah, did he ever.
A catch made in center field to end the game. You don't walk off many as a defensive player, but Jake has the last couple of years.
Yeah, he threw out that base runner back in Yankee Stadium. I was trying to remember who the base runner was. It wasn't Jacoby Ellsbury, was it?
I always get Gardner and Ellsbury.
I think it was Ellsbury.
Ellsbury. Okay.
But anyways, yeah, you're right. It's not too many times. That's the only way a visiting team can really kind of walk you off, and Jake's done it twice.
1-1 to count. Here's last night's Blummer.
Yeah, tough read. It's always that baseball right at the outfielder, but Jake, it almost looked as if he recognized he was at him and then just bolted in, laid out, full extension. Just a good measure. Poses up for the finish of the game.
Inside from Jeffrey Ramirez, it's 2-1. He brings so much to the table as a defensive weapon. He's also a guy who can pinch run for you. Expect to see him on that postseason roster because of all those attributes he can bring to the table. And he hits a bullet here. Short hop by the second baseman. Nice play, and they turn two. And now the Astros have grounded into a franchise record 155 double play.
Sportsnet app from iTunes or Google Play, or visit attsportsnet.com to stream on your computer. Log in with your cable account and you're all set. Available for those with AT&T Sportsnet in their TV subscription. Blackouts and territorial restrictions apply. TK.
All right, Julie, on we go to the bottom half of the second inning. Dallas Keuchel facing 5, 6, and 7. In the Orioles lineup, Tim Beckham, the designated hitter, leading things off. Beckham had a couple of hits in the last game and earned himself a start in game 2. Had a double and a single his last 2 times up, and takes a pitch down low for ball 1. Beckham came over to the Orioles last year at the trade deadline from Tampa Bay. Season batting .229 with a dozen home runs. I mean, a good month of September, hitting close to 300. Shatters his bat, but he finds an open space on the right side of the infield. Beckham with 3 consecutive hits going back to game 1. Leadoff base runner here in the second.
Shrapnel all over the ballpark right now. That qualifies for soft contact for Dallas Keuchel again. That turns into a hit off the end of the bat. Not much left for Tim Beckham to be holding on to. Wow. That was destruction.
I don't think his right hand was holding anything.
Yeah.
As he came through with that swing.
So bat made out of peanut brittle.
Renato Nunez with a strike. Yeah, the amazing thing with Dallas is how many times that soft contact results in a hit. It's remarkable.
He keeps his composure pretty good, but he's internally, there's got to be many a time where he's just frustrated as can be.
Nunez takes a pitch outside, 1-1. Nunez on base a couple of times in game 1. That ball's driven to center field, sending Jake Marisnick back, still going near the track, near the wall, reaches up and makes the catch in front of the wall. Tim Beckham will tag and go to second. Nunez hit that ball 400 plus feet to straightaway center, but it's allowed out.
Nunez looked a little concerned after that ball stayed in the ballpark. Jake moving back nicely, taking a peek at the wall, understood he had plenty of room. Nunez, on the other hand, thought he had one.
Pretty loud off the bat. Here's John Andrioli. Andrioli's pinch run a couple of times in this series, but batting for the first time. Saw right there before that first pitch, and he's a college teammate, University of Connecticut, of George Springer. They caught up before the series started.
Nunez's fly ball to center field had an 88% hit probability.
Really?
Yep.
What was the exit velo?
103.4.
Caught it.
Yeah.
There's George. Looking on at his college teammate. Rather casually.
There's fish eyeing him.
2-0 pitches down at 3-0. George and Josh Reddick played in game 1, so they have game 2 off, hanging out together on the bench. There's a strike, is 3-1. Andrioli batting .220, and in the Cubs system his whole career until this year. Started the year in the Mariners organization. And inside, ball 4. Dallas just issues his first walk, and the Orioles have runners on first and second with 1 out. Bring up Austin Wynns. Wynns was the starting catcher in the game here on Friday and went 1 for 2. And there's a base hit into right field. Beckham will be waved around. Kyle Tucker comes up throwing. His throw home is late, heading to second base, and now being caught between first and second is Wynns. Bregman makes the throw to White. White makes the tag for out number 2. So it's a 1-1 game on the RBI single, and Wynns caught between first and second.
Good play by Brian McCann, bouncing out behind home plate to get that and throw it down to second base. Tucker overthrows that cutoff man, but Brian McCann with the catch and throw, showing a good arm. Eventually getting that runner out at first base. Nice play on defense to at least salvage 1 out.
Two hits and a walk this inning for the Orioles, and now Dallas facing the number 9 hitter Steve Wilkerson. Wilkerson batting .195. He's another switch hitter in this lineup. He's 2 for 14 as a righty. Dallas Keuchel has faced the Orioles 7 previous times in his career, including once this season. Went 5 innings of 2-run baseball, one of those earned in his start against the Orioles on April the 4th. Allowed 2 runs or less in 4 consecutive outings against Baltimore as Wilkerson fouls one away. It's 1-2. Dallas starting the night with 201 2/3 innings. Orioles facing a 3rd consecutive starter who has picked up a 200-inning season. Swing and a miss. Keuchel ends the inning with a strikeout. He has 2 on the evening, but the Orioles tie the game at 1. And features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. Astros fans here in Baltimore in this 1-1 contest as we head to the 3rd inning. If you asked all those Astros fans in attendance which rookie has a shot in Game 2 of the doubleheader to hit their first Major League home run, everybody would have said Kyle Tucker.
Right?
And Kyle's still waiting for his first. Batting here to start the 3rd inning, Miles Straw in his 5th Major League at bat, hitting a home run. Kyle 58 at bats in. 8 for 58 with a double and a triple and a couple of 6 singles in the mix, but no home runs. And Straw will bat 3rd this inning. Inside on Tucker, it's 2-0. Kyle, the Baseball America AAA Player of the Year and also the Astros Minor League Player of the Year.
Putting up silly numbers in AAA.
All right, 2-0. He can kind of zone in here.
Let it eat. Got a kid. You got to get it, don't you? If you're Kyle Tucker, you've got to get it.
He's only got him tonight plus tomorrow. You'd like to see him get that first one this season. Not have to worry about it in the offseason.
Ramirez has actually shown a pretty good changeup early on in this ball game. Threw one right there in that 2-1 count.
Popped up on the infield. Actually going to be in foul territory for the catcher, Wins, who puts it away. 4 out, number 1 of the 3rd.
No Player Does More is presented by HEB. Of course, Jose Altuve, 7 games versus the Indians in 2018. some ridiculous numbers. That OPS 1219. He scored 12, or he produced 12 runs, 15 and 32. TK, correct me if I'm wrong. He got 10 straight hits.
He did.
In getting to those 15.
He did. 10 in a row. It's hard to get 5 hits in a row. He got 10.
It's hard to get 6 in a row, is what George said.
That's true. Altuve struck out his first time up. And puts this one on the ground foul.
Would you rather have 10 hits in a row or 6 in one game?
10 in a row.
Yeah, I'm taking the 10 in a row. But this guy right here got 10 in a row, yet was astonished that George got 6 in one game.
Who does that? Count 1 and 2. Altuve started this game with a .314 batting average. Unfortunately, Altuve's run of 200 hit seasons is going to come to a close. 3 out of 4 years winning the batting title. As Altuve breaks his bat, sends one towards second. Wilkerson hustles to make the play, and he had to because Altuve, he's really getting down the line in the series.
He's moving extremely well. That's a great sign. He got blown up on this and realized he might have a chance to hustle it out for a base hit, so he got those feet up and down in a hurry and almost beat it out.
That's probably the best we've seen him run in the last couple of months.
You're going to make me look up some numbers, aren't you?
No, because I can tell you what his numbers were yesterday.
But he was flying.
The bunt base hit,
yeah.
31.3 feet per second, which is Miles Straw territory.
Elite.
Speaking of Miles Straw, we'll get to see that speed here. You can't lay back on him, and he is beat by that throw by VR by a stride. So a 1-2-3 inning for Ramirez.
Last 6 starts versus Cleveland, 40 innings pitched and a 2.70 ERA. He's actually pitched pretty well on the road against the Cleveland Indians. Got some tough right-handed hitters in that lineup. It'll turn Lindor into a right-handed hitter, turn Jose Ramirez into a right-handed hitter. Brings a couple of other guys into play, but Dallas Keuchel in his last 40 innings has good numbers against the Cleveland Indians.
Dallas should see Cleveland in that series on the road as Cedric Mullins tries to bunt. Keuchel will try and backhand flip, and the bare hand catch not made by Tyler White. Dallas got the ball there, but White couldn't come up with the throw. A little bunt hit for Cedric Mullins to start this inning.
A little bit of confusion between. Watch Tyler White. He's moving in, but you got to remember at the same time that your pitcher is a pretty darn good fielding first baseman. So Tyler got stuck in between finding the base and finding the baseball.
Be a bunt hit for Mullins. Now Dallas will face Jonathan VR. Original plan for A.J. Hinch was a limited start tonight for Dallas. He was thinking 3 innings would be enough. This very well could be Dallas's final inning. So far, he's allowed 4 base hits in 2 innings plus 1 batter as he faces BR, who he struck out his first time up. Dallas making his 34th start of the season tonight. That is a new career high for Keuchel. And another bunt attempt. And Dallas is saying that hit BR out of the batter's box and he should be out, but that's not the call made by Alan Porter. It's 0-2.
Still in the box. Close, but still in the box.
Up the middle, could be 2. Bregman, little glove flip to Altuve. That's pretty. Bregman to Altuve to Tyler White as they turn 2.
Bregman understanding that they've got a couple of burners on the base paths and at the plate. Got all fancy on us. Glove pick, backhand flip, double play turn. Pretty one too.
Two outs, base is empty, and Adam Jones will be the batter. Jones singled to left his first time up. Keuchel's previous career high with the starts was 33, set in his Cy Young season of 2015. Jones takes a called strike. Don't forget, bottom half of the 4th inning, A.J. Hinch will join the broadcast next time the Orioles bat. And Dallas ahead of Jones, 0-2.
Old Dominion bringing their best. Focus is on. Dallas Keuchel against American League playoff teams since 2012. Good numbers against Indians, Yankees, Oakland Athletics, Red Sox. A little bit of an issue with that 7.46 ERA in 4 starts.
Not many guys have that many starts against the Yankees and that low of an ERA.
And it's pretty amazing that he can go into Yankee Stadium and have some pretty good numbers too. Pitched great in that 2015 wild card game to get the Astros into the ALDS that year.
Yankees will be back in that wild card game at home on Wednesday. I wonder if those two know this is a limited start for Dallas. Beards might not be as comfortable around the 6th inning if Dallas has been out of the game since the 3rd. Oh, that one's off the plate towards Yuli. It's the old Baltimore chop for a guy playing his final weekend series in Baltimore. Adam Jones picks up a base hit on a chopper off the plate. Dallas is like more soft contact.
You just can't avoid it. It's unreal.
Even if Yuli makes that play.
If he picks it up and he says, "Hey, I caught it on a short hop," he doesn't do anything with it.
Chris Sale, the best at inducing poor contact. Dallas, 2nd best in the American League and 5th best in the major. And if you include guys who have qualified for innings, Dallas will be 1st in the AL. And Cini takes a called strike. But when a leaderboard is built for soft contact resulting in hits, Dallas will be by far the league leader in the majors.
Yes. Dubious honor.
Mancini grounded out to short his first time up. The plan was this weekend, and we'll talk to AJ about it next inning, is he wanted Cole and Verlander both to pitch full outings. Although Cole was taken out after 6 innings once he got to 2 innings, or 200 innings. Verlander basically was a normal start today, and he wanted Dallas and Charlie Morton to be more limited in their outings. So That's why Dallas may only be in there for 3 tonight.
Yeah, that's a good pitch. That's where Dallas needs to live, is down in that zone. If he's not getting that call, it's tough.
Soft contact. Bregman's going to have to hurry. He will make the play, and it's a high throw, but White comes down on the bag for the final out. So we are through 3 here in Baltimore, tied up at 1.
Season watch party at Minute Maid Park, presented by Chevrolet. Each away game will be shown on the video board in the stadium and out on the plaza on Crawford Street. Fans must claim a free admissions voucher in order to attend the event at astros.com/watchparty.
Bregman swings the first pitch and pops a foul back behind home plate. The first road game for those watch parties will be a week from Monday in Cleveland. Astros will be home Friday, Saturday, day off Sunday, game in Cleveland Monday, and if necessary, game in Cleveland Tuesday. You can start to figure out all the home games for the Astros, at least in the ALDS and World Series, if they get that far. The ALDS will hinge upon whether the Astros are playing Boston, in which they'd be home for games 3, 4, 5, or the wild card winner, in which they'd be home for games 1, 2, and then 6, 7. But make your plans for next Friday and Saturday. The Astros will be home against the Cleveland Indians for games 1 and 2 of the ALDS.
They give us times yet?
Nope. Brad Peacock warming up, so it looks like Dallas Keuchel's day is done after 3. I think we may find out by tomorrow or Monday. That's my guess. I think what they're waiting on is the National League to sort itself out. Because
those slackers.
By the way, the Dodgers won their game.
Yep, clinched a berth.
They are in the postseason. St. Louis is out.
They're just trying to figure out who's going to go where now, huh?
Colorado is playing tonight, trying to maintain their 1-game lead over the Dodgers. They need a win. As the Cubs lost earlier today, Milwaukee's got a chance to move into a tie for first, and they're beating Detroit 5-3 in the 4th inning. Brewers could be tied with the Cubs going into the final day of the season with a win tonight, as Alex draws a walk on a 3-2 pitch. That'll bring up Yuli Gurriel. Yankees beat the Red Sox for win number 100. Amazing, the Yankees winning 100 games, and they're still 7 games back of Boston. There's the Dodgers final in San Fran. Brewers can be in a first place tie with the Cubs after tonight.
Nationals lead the Rockies early. If the Rockies lose that game, there will be, and the Brewers hold on to their lead, there will be 2 divisions that will be in a dead heat going into game 162. That would be crazy.
That would be crazy. You have experience with that, kind of.
I do.
Yeah.
There's a bullet in the center field. Yuli hits it hard for a base hit. Alex Bregman to second base with a single. Bregman drew the walk and goes to second on the Yuli single.
That was a lightning bolt to center.
Here's the NL playoff picture, and this can all be jumbled in the next 24 hours.
This could be a completely different graphic.
The only thing we know is Atlanta has won the East.
Yes.
That is definitive.
And a couple of playoff bursts, but we don't know who's the division champion or who's going to be the wild card.
Brewers right now a half game behind the Cubs. Dodgers right now a half game behind the Rockies.
If I really knew what I was talking about, I would have drawn arrows all over that thing with the telestrator.
There could be complete chaos in the NL because you have to play out the divisions. Even though we know the 5 teams in the National League,
Yep.
no longer St. Louis is mathematically eligible. Even though we know the 5 teams, it's such a big discrepancy between division winner and wild card team. Back in the day when it was only a 4-team playoff, it would just go to season series and the division winner would be declared. But now you have to play a game 163 to determine the division champ.
I've played in a game 163, and oddly enough, it was against the Colorado Rockies in 2007, and they ended up winning that game and then getting into the wild card and going to the World Series only to lose to the Boston Red Sox. So kind of a crazy route, but it is possible. But that year you had with Tampa where you guys were literally watching scoreboards and waiting for highlights to come in.
It was
that was incredible.
Trip that started in Toronto, and they only needed 2 wins in Toronto, and they lost the first 2 games of that weekend series to the Rays, and then won on Sunday to force a game 163 against Texas. There have only been 3 teams since the advent of 2 wild cards that have won 90 games or more and not qualified for the playoffs. Actually 2. One of them was the Rays the year before, and then that year Texas and Tampa Bay tied with 91 wins and then played a game 163. Tampa Bay would win that game in Texas and then fly to Cleveland to play the Indians the next day in the wild card game, win that game, and then fly straight to Boston to play that first round of the AL, or first game of the ALDS. Here's the playoff picture as it stands now. Chicago already in the books today. They have already lost 2-1 to St. Louis. The Cardinals have been eliminated with the Dodgers win today. Dodgers now half a game behind the Colorado Rockies in the West, and the Rockies game is currently underway with Steven Strasburg and the Nationals winning 2-0. Craziness.
It is craziness.
We do know this. You see the Brewers lead on the Dodgers in the wild card.
Yep.
Whoever doesn't win the NL Central will host whoever doesn't win the NL West in the wild card game. Tyler thought he held up, but first base umpire Chad Whitson said he went around. So that's a strikeout.
Yeah, that's probably, you know, you're talking about the teams trying to figure out what they're going to match up against. How about the traveling secretary for those, or secretaries for those teams? They've got about, what, 2 or 3 different reservations and 2 different planes going to 2 different places.
This is going to be complete chaos tomorrow. And I love the fact that all games start at the same time.
That is kind of good.
Evan Gattis into right field, bidding for a hit. It falls. Alex Bregman being held up as charging quickly as Adam Jones. The bases will be loaded with Astros with 1 out.
We've kind of seen Evan Gattis shorten up with runners in scoring position and kind of just fight pitches off going the other way, just like he does here. Looked like a little bit of a cement mixer of a slider that he got jammed on, but muscling it out to right field.
Guess who's batting?
My favorite, Brian McCann.
This could be an extremely loud explosion.
Yeah, there would definitely be breaking news. He's got plenty of grand slams in his career.
One of the all-time leaders Bases loaded, 1 out for Brian McCann. Takes pitch outside for a ball. Astros took a 1-0 lead in the first. Brian McCann trailing only Albert Pujols amongst active players in Grand Slams. Robbie Cano and Edwin Encarnacion also with 11.
Ooh. Trying to get after that heater on the inside corner.
Bregman on third, he walked. Yuli on second with a base hit. Evan Gattis on first, also with a base hit. Evans now reached twice, reached on an error his first time up. Jeffrey Ramirez in a little bit of trouble in this inning. McCann pops it up, shallow left center field, playable for the shortstop BR. Infield fly rule is invoked, and McCann is out number 2.
Popped it up, didn't work out. Now it's up to Jake Marisnick to pick him up.
Well, Jake will bat with the bases loaded. He grounded into a double play his first time up, but he hit the ball hard.
Yeah, he did.
He's hit it at the second baseman and started 2. With Jake's speed, you have to hit it hard to hit into a double play. Just the second time this year Marisnick has batted with the bases loaded. Jake looking for a big 2-out hit. Brad Peacock's been warming up this inning. He'll be the new pitcher for the Astros in the 4th. 2-0. Manager A.J. Hinch will join us from the dugout in the bottom half of this inning. See if Jake finds a pitch to his liking here. It fouls one away. It's 2-2. Outside, the count's full. We're going to have everybody off their respective bases with 2 outs in the inning. Bregman, Gurriel, and Gattis all with a head start. 24-year-old Jeffrey Ramirez, perhaps his most important pitch of this outing. Low ball 4. Astros take the lead on a bases loaded walk to Jake Marisnick, forcing in a run. Bregman crosses the plate with his 105th run of the year.
A little anticlimactic, but space. It's a run for the Astros nonetheless, so keep getting excited, wait for another big swing, but they'll take the walk. push another runner across. Kyle Tucker now with an opportunity to make his first one special if he gets a pitch to get a hold of.
His only home run in a major league game, and it was an exhibition, was a grand slam.
Indeed it was, Todd.
Came against the Brewers at Minute Maid Park to cap off an amazing spring training this year. He led all of baseball in runs batted in this spring, sitting on 4 runs batted in this year in 59 at bats. He can double his RBI production in one swing. Kyle popped up to the catcher his first time up. Outside, ball 1.
Ramirez hasn't been able to command that changeup. Falling behind, throwing it early in counts. Getting forced into that fastball count. Baltimore gets that bullpen going with some of the traffic.
One the count. Ramirez making 12 starts at AAA this year, but he and Tucker in different leagues. Ramirez pitching for Norfolk in the International League. Kyle Tucker with Fresno in the PCL, Pacific Coast League. Into center field, pretty well hit, but right at Cedric Mullins, who puts it away for out number 3. Astros take a 2-1 lead on the bases loaded walk. From the dugout is the manager of the Houston Astros, A.J. Hinch. And A.J., nice win game 1. You tied the franchise record with 102 wins. Carlos Correa, big part of that. It looked like you got him going. You had a little conversation with him before that home run.
The real story behind that is sort of brings in an Astro from the past, and Johnny VR is playing second base. And I was like, Carlos, why don't you just reach out and punch VR in the face with your top hand? and not literally, obviously, but that direction towards the center field into right center field. And so when he did it, makes you feel really smart. Then he did it twice, and it makes you feel like you fixed him.
Yeah, you did a heck of a job and got him right. How much is that? Did you talk to him after the game, and how much does that mean for his psyche?
Yeah, I think it means a lot to him. I mean, he works so hard. He probably overtrains when it comes to trying to get right. He's never satisfied. So to get him some success, certainly this last weekend was important. He looks healthy, which is a good sign. He's moving around great. So, but let's be honest. I mean, athletes have to feel success and see success in order to really get to the next level for the confidence.
Brad Peacock taking over in the 4th inning. Dallas Keuchel, where they scheduled 3 innings of work, allowed 1 run. AJ, if you would have told Astros fans or even guys in the dugout that a rookie was going to get his first home run in this game, your money would not necessarily have been on your left fielder, Miles Straw.
Yeah, he's not your prototypical home run guy, except if that ball hits the wall, it's probably a homer too, given how fast he is. So he's got a lot of skills, but the Oppo homer was not predicted. They shifted him in the first inning with all the infielders, so everybody that played with him with AAA was going crazy in the dugout, wondering why they weren't seeing the single to the right side. They were all predicting single to right side, so he homered.
Yeah, we were surprised to see 3 on the left side of the infield ourselves. Hey, Brad Peacock showing Dallas Keuchel he's not the only one that can flash the leather on the mound. 1 out.
AJ, congratulations on your 4-year anniversary. You were hired 4 years ago, and I got to admit, you've done way better than I ever expected, man.
You're so brutal. You are so brutal. And to be honest with you, I thought you'd be out of here by now, given my new contract. Given I try to have a little bit of conversations with the big boys, but you're still around too. So I guess we'll try this again for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, we'll try and salvage the rest of our relationship. But I also wanted to congratulate you on tying 1998's team with 102 wins. What would it mean to get one more?
I think it would mean a lot to this team. We talk a little bit about it, and we know it's there. And last year's World Series team is obviously going to go down in history as a very special team. And every team has a new chip on its shoulder. I think we want to be in the record books for having the best record. And then if we can continue on, be the team that repeats and wins another World Series, then this team can be etched in stone as the best team in franchise history. And it starts with winning the most games.
You have a lot of big decisions coming up. How much do results this weekend play into those decisions?
A little, but not a lot. I mean, this is such a difficult weekend. It's got that spring training feel. You got the guys in the other dugout are trying to make an impression with their organization, but at the same time, it's just a different environment. So we told our guys, don't get sloppy, don't turn it into an exhibition game. But we pay attention and we're watching different things. But the bigger body of work, the bigger matchup with the Indians is going to play into their favor. This is a tough team to crack, and it's difficult to look out at some of the guys and we have 25 spots, probably 14 position players, 11 pitchers, and that list gets really, really difficult to put together when you start to do it.
You got a couple of days off after tomorrow's game that ends the season before you start up the ALDS on Friday. Have you mapped out as far as days off and what days you're going to work out and how you're going to do that?
Yeah, we'll have our guys play tomorrow, partial game, and then I'll get some guys out of there, and then Monday's going to be a complete day off. We don't get until late tomorrow night back to Houston, and then Tuesday we'll have a regular kind of pregame type workout. Wednesday we'll have a pregame workout. Thursday's a mandatory MLB workout. And then we tee it up on Friday. I think that one of the most difficult things to do from my vantage point is control the anxiousness. This is going to be a long time off between, what's largely I don't say meaningless because we want to set this record, but a low key weekend to the high intensity Friday. Guys are just wanting to get to Friday.
Yeah, so tonight we see Peacock here in this inning. You're trying to go 1 inning at a time with guys from here on out?
Yeah, we'll see Valdez later tonight. He'll probably go a couple innings. Lance McCullers will pitch tonight. I may even pitch Presley. He's starting to itch a little bit. He's been off like 3 or 4 days and he doesn't know what to do with himself. So he's got one more outing, but either today or tomorrow. So I'm not going to lean on too many guys. Valdez will get a multiple inning outing, and then tomorrow you'll see an array of guys to close out the season.
Were you impressed at all with what Justin Verlander did in Game 1?
Yeah, I was. I'm usually impressed by Justin. He's the strikeouts were real. The intensity that he brings again in this game, where if you want to work on a pitch, you want to work on a breaking ball, work on a fastball, maybe a changeup. He didn't take it that way. I think he was working on getting to 300 punch outs. He needed another 2 or 3 innings. He probably could have got there.
AJ, I know you're getting updates, but it's 14-14 Stanford and Notre Dame late in the second quarter.
It's a big game for me and the trash talk that goes on behind the scenes.
Anyone in particular?
Springer, Marisnik, Blum.
Yeah.
It's kind of my 3 nemesis.
I'm surprised you haven't been messed with during this interview.
Nah, you know what? I've been sick, and I'm also, with Jeff Luhnow setting the roster in a couple days, so they don't want to mess with me.
I was going to say, they're going to be nice to AJ. How you feeling?
Better. I'm doing better. Half our travel party is hurting a little bit. I was not the originator of this sickness, but I think I've been the most public. I think I've been the most public because I've had to talk to a lot of different people. But all's well that ends well. When the season ends and we get a day off, and we'll be raring to go by the end of the week.
All right, AJ, the inning closing out here. Great advice for Correa. We're gonna see that again.
Yeah, where was I 2 months ago?
Good luck to get to 103. That means something to you guys, right?
It does mean something to us, and we obviously have 2 games to win. We like the lead right now. it would matter a lot to go in the record books as the team with the best record, not just tie it.
No, we appreciate all the time you've given it to us over the season, AJ. And I think we kind of maybe expose a little bit of our relationship. We do get along, and you're a great coach. You're a great man to us, and we truly appreciate you coming on and putting up with us on a daily basis.
I enjoy you guys. This broadcast team is second to none, so you make it easy on me.
You just let him call you coach?
Most days.
I got away with that.
To be honest with you, I don't even listen when Blum talks. I heard the thank you, and then I moved on. So.
You were surprised by that. You didn't know how to handle it.
Gargled mess when he talks.
All right, the inning's over. AJ, thanks, buddy. AJ Hinch joining us in the fourth inning of this 2-1 game. Here is AJ showing Carlos Correa how to hit to right center field. Boom. Punch PR. Sportsnet is brought to you by Rooms to Go, living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, and more. 100 stylish options, all under $1,000. By Arctic, overbuilt, not overpriced. And by Nissan, innovation that excites. Beautiful night in downtown Baltimore, Maryland. Todd Callis, Jeff Blum, Julian Morales. On to the fifth we go in this 2-1 game. Jeffrey Ramirez, who spells his name Y-E-F-R-Y, facing the top of the order for the third time. Jose Altuve swings at the first pitch, sends it high and deep to left field. Going back, Andrioli at the wall makes the catch just feet away from Altuve's 14th home run. He knows he just missed it. And Altuve knows the guy behind him has a home run, but this one was close to another one.
Just not enough. Good swing.
Maybe the Orioles hurt us because now they're playing their infield normal. They played Straw the first time with 3 on the left side of the infield. We mentioned on the broadcast, AJ said everybody in the dugout talking about how he always hits the ball on the right side. Now the Orioles playing the more conventional, traditional 2 on the left side, 2 on the right side D. Straw home run and a ground out, his first major league home run. He's now 3 for 6 as a big leaguer with that home run.
StatCast AI powered by AWS on that home run of Miles Straw, 98 miles an hour off the bat, 29-degree launch angle, 395 beautiful feet away from home for that first home run.
Now the count's full. Straw, a guy who stole 70 bags to lead all minor league baseball. If you walk him, it's almost like giving up a double.
Jeffrey Ramirez has thrown a lot of pitches in this game. We are in the 5th, and he's sitting at the upper 70s. And Straw is going to add to that total. Ramirez, a dozen starts at AAA this year, made his major league debut against Boston on June the 13th. Straw the other way to right field. Jones goes back and makes the play for out number 2.
Time to play Name That Astro, brought to you by Nissan. Who am I? May I? Doubling up. If you know who that Astro is, make sure you tweet your answer to @ATT_SportsNetSW, and you got to stay tuned later in this ball game, and we will let you know who that Astro is.
I'll bring up Alex Bregman. Well, AJ pretty much confirmed what we were debating in game 1 about the number of arms in the bullpen. Sounds like it will be a 7-man bullpen, which means there's a lot of guys vying for very few spots.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Alex takes a call strike. It's 1-1. Bregman struck out and walked in this game. Alex continues to lead the team in walks, now up to 94 on the season. Three and one. Framber Valdez. AJ said he could pitch a couple of innings.
Yeah, we know that. He's a fun left-handed arm to watch. Command got a little bit better that last time he was out there, which was a good thing to see.
Upstairs, ball 4. Bregman draws his 2nd consecutive walk. Number 95 on the season for Bregman.
He's going to finish up with more walks and strikeouts, isn't he?
Yep.
That is awesome.
He was about a +10 last I looked. .95 walks is 3rd in the AL to Mike Trout and Jose Ramirez. Here's Yuli. Let's see, Bregman is now at 95 walks and 84 strikeouts, so he's +11.
That is remarkable. That is such a good thing. Not easy to do these days. Not too many guys actually pay attention to actually trying to do that these days.
Yuli takes a strike. Yuli's got that batting average up to 293 with a 2-for-2 night. He's made a run late. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get to 300, but he certainly made a nice run to get his average back up into the 290s.
That base hit. He gets to a 13-game hitting streak and go ball.
Deep to left field. Andrioli back, and he's got a play at the wall. Actually went all the way back and came in a couple of steps. The Astros sent a couple to the wall and left.
Jake Moriznik, who has had 2 5-star catches this season. Only 5. We think it's been way more than that, but you saw him rob Giancarlo Stanton at Yankee Stadium. Here's another one against the Boston Red Sox at Fenway. How much ground does he cover there? Both big catches on the road. That one helped saving the game. And then, of course, he had the big catch last night to end the game. Josh Reddick, if you ask him, he gave last night's catch a 5 stars as well, grading. But he's a guy that everyone in that dugout expects to just make every catch because of all the big plays that he's made over the years, and he really does change the game in some way when he is in there, out in the outfield as well. And guys, you got to remember, he missed out on all the postseason action last year. Really disappointing for him to have to sit back and watch as he laid it on the DL right before the regular season was over. Could not wait to help this team get back so he could be a part of it together.
Yeah, the worst part about that injury is he was ready like a couple of days after the season ended. Like, he was almost ready for the World Series, and the World Series ended. He's like, I'm good.
Well, there were question marks on whether or not they were going to put him out there just to play some defense and run.
Jake continues to be perfect on all 1 to 4-star catches this season. The only outfielder with that many attempts to be 100% on all those catches, and he is a difference maker in center field.
It's still amazing that he has those kind of numbers, yet he is not an everyday center fielder. And he's still able to go out there and prove that he's one of the best.
Framber Valdez takes over, misses in the first 3 pitches to the number 8 hitter, Austin Wins. Now he throws him a strike. And that's the key for Framber. He's got to be able to command the zone. At times it's been good, at times it hasn't been good.
Yeah, the numbers are actually pretty good considering in those 34 2/3 innings that he has walked 21 guys.
Off the ground foul, it's 3-2.
He hasn't been hit very hard. That batting average against him under 200. Really hasn't given up too many extra base hits, but even with all those walks and a couple of hits mixed in, to keep that ERA at 2.08 is pretty impressive.
Last outing he worked in his first changeups of the year. We hadn't seen that all season. Not many, we've barely thrown it, but at least he's worked it in. Deep in the hole, Bregman off balance throw and a strike to Tyler White for out number 1. Nice play by Alex.
It's an interesting number for Framber Valdez too, as his ground ball rate is relatively high. Get some good defense behind him. Alex Bregman, no panic. Makes that play on the run.
Astros have a chance to set their franchise record for best fielding percentage. Currently, the record is held by the 2008 team with a fielding percentage of .9887. The Astros came into the doubleheader at .9891 and played a clean first game. Steve Wilkerson bats, struck out his first time up. Astros have won a couple of one-run games in this series from the Orioles. 2-1 last night and 4-3 in game 1. Into right field, coming on Tucker. Foul territory, a sliding effort and a catch made by the Astros right fielder Kyle Tucker. Very nice defensive play.
How did he catch that? I got a catch stare. It went to Tyler White. That was a long way to go for the young man. Charging in, getting near that track. First game here at Camden Yards. Goes down to that slide and catches it. That was beautiful.
Really well done.
Hasn't gone according to plan on offense, but makes a great defensive play.
That was high degree of difficulty right there. Dealing with the tarp. Nice sliding catch by Kyle. Mullen sends one down the line and left, but it's hooking towards the crowd and foul. to win the count. Mullins bounced back to Keuchel on a nice play defensively, and also chopped one for a base hit his last time up. 1-2 the count. Astros and Orioles, mentioning earlier a couple of one-run games in this series. Coming into this series, they had the biggest run differential since 1954. "64 years since two teams have met with a bigger run differential than the Astros and the Orioles. So far, we've had 3 close games."
Interesting game, baseball. Interesting time too. If it was June, July, August, maybe that might be a little bit bigger run total from the Astros.
Hey, Valdez picks up a strikeout. Fromber looks good in his first inning. A 1-2-3 fifth. Astros lead 2-1. Spring training season tickets are now on sale for the 2019 season. For tickets and info, visit astros.com/springtraining. After tomorrow, that's going to be our next broadcast, 2019.
That is correct.
A little 5-month hiatus where we get to be fans of the postseason and then hopefully celebrate another World Series title next spring in West Palm Beach. A lot of Astros fans in attendance at Oriole Park at Camden Yards as Tyler White will lead things off in the 6th inning. Astros leading 2-1. I feel bad for Julia. I don't think she's eaten since before game 1. Keep looking down there and she never leaves her position.
I just got food.
Yes. How did that happen? You haven't left.
I have friends down here to help me out. Concession run.
What'd you get?
She'll survive.
Just, chicken tenders. Whatever was closest. I think they sell it right up there.
Very nice.
We're running out of time. Do they stop selling food after a certain hour?
I think so.
Or an inning or something?
Yeah, I think after a certain inning. I'm glad you got to eat.
Thank you.
We won't bother you for a while.
Yeah, thanks for the pizza.
Todd.
Sorry. Failed.
That was a quick turnaround.
It was.
They said a half an hour, but it felt like about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it felt really quick. Pop up on the right side. First baseman Mancini is there. Mancini learned to play first base, did a nice job in game 1, and puts away that pop up for the first out of the 6th inning. Bring up the DH, Evan Gaddis.
When you were working the sidelines, would you just bail and go get food if you were starving?
I never did anything in the first inning.
What do you mean you never did anything?
I never did a report.
Oh, really? So
that was my inning to eat.
Okay. And that was the routine?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were not nice enough to do that to Julia.
I would do pregame show.
Yep.
Post pregame show. And then head straight to the food to the media dining, not do anything in the first inning. I was always Dwayne and whoever the color analyst was at the time's inning, and then I would start working the second inning. That was my inning to eat.
Not bad.
Nah.
Good routine.
Place was empty. I had the place to myself. Everybody's working in the first inning, so it was good.
The only one in media dining.
Yeah. Powered it down. But I learned to eat quick.
Yeah, that's one thing baseball will teach you is how to eat quick.
Especially when a guy like Shields was pitching and he gets after it.
Yeah.
So you knew with certain pitchers you needed to eat.
Yeah, if you've got a bad matchup, you didn't have much time. Oh, yeah. or a good matchup is bad for you.
Right, exactly. Evan Gattis is 1 for 2 today. Reached on an error and single. Gaddy went 0 for 3 in game 1. Gattis was one of the subjects interviewed by Jeff Blum in the post-game celebration in Toronto, and one of the more popular moments of the celebration when you got to feel that beard.
That thing is amazing. I didn't have a chance to ask him what kind of conditioner he uses.
It actually gets up on his shoulder when he gets ready to hit. Like it moves as he's preparing to bat.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it looks great on TV, and then I'm standing next to it, and it's like its own entity.
Here it goes. It just kind of gets pushed up into his face there as he digs that left shoulder in for the swing. It's 2-2. Gattis second on the team this season with 78 runs batted in. And has been hot as of late. Didn't get a hit in that first game, but still 6 for his last 15. On the ground towards third, gloved on a couple of hops by Nunez. And he'll make the play for out number 2.
Time to name that Astro. It's brought to you by Nissan. We gave you the hints earlier. May I? Doubling up. Who is that Astro? Enos Cabell, acquired from Baltimore in 1974 for Lee May. 2 stints with the Astros, 75 to 80 and then 84 to 85. Big E still hangs around the ballpark quite a bit too, helping out front office a little bit. That man can tell some stories. He is a fun conversation.
Brian McCann pops one foul. That'll head back to the crowd. Well, what Buck Showalter has seen in this series, obviously the Orioles have already locked up the worst record. They're going to have the #1 pick for the 2nd time ever. Ben McDonald the last time they had the #1 overall pick. What he's seen is his 3 starting pitchers have pretty much held the defending world champions down. Bundy gave up 3 runs on back-to-back home runs, but he pitched very well through 5. David Hess pitched well last night, and so far Jeffrey Ramirez has looked pretty good.
Yes, they have.
So in a season without much of a glimmer for Buck to get excited about, at least he's seeing some of his arms finish the season strong.
Well, I think he said it in between games. The one I did here was about the comments I heard were about Dylan Bundy, and he said it's really nice. It's nice for Buck to be able to see these guys do it, but he also talked about the mentality for a guy finishing strong or having a good last outing going into that offseason. He said that really.
Deep to right field, Brian McCann for the 2nd time on this road trip has hit a home run, and the Astros lead 3-1.
Houstonians, I have got breaking news.
You have news?
If you're in the Inner Harbor, you may have heard something. McCann ball!
A McCann ball into the Inner Harbor.
That a boy, B-Mac. Oh, McCann stare.
Even a little side stare for B-Mac. How about that?
Yes.
I'm like, this guy's old school, no nonsense. Is he going to give us a stare? And he paid it off for us.
That is so good.
Love that guy.
Yes, absolutely.
Here's Jake Marisnick fouling one back. Who knew we would get 2 on this road trip?
This has been so good. Finishing so strong.
There was a fan who was yelling that in his first at bat. He saw some things coming. Jake with a count of 0-2. It's now 1-2.
I'm going to write that down. Got too excited, didn't keep score.
The home run.
Yeah.
McCann's 7th home run of the season. And a second on this trip. 2-2 the count to Jake. Jake walked with the bases loaded to give the Astros a 2-1 lead. He also grounded into a double play his first time up. Ramirez at 106 pitches. Buck not afraid to let this young arm go a little bit tonight. And he finishes off, you would think his night's over, finishes off the inning with a strikeout, but the Astros take a 3-1 lead.
They get that 3-1 lead on a McCann ball deep to right. Good to see B-Mac healthy, getting on those legs, driving a baseball out of the ballpark here in Baltimore. McCann stare.
Oriole Park in Camden Yards. Astros leading 3-1, bottom half of the 6th inning. Astros looking for win number 103 on the season, a new franchise record. Robert Valdez in a second inning of work, and the first pitch sent deep to left field, but playable. Miles Straw is there and puts it away. For out number 1, Jonathan Villar swinging at the first pitch and flying out to left. A Brian McCann home run giving the Astros a 3-1 lead. Miles Straw has also hit a home run tonight. His first major league home run is just the 4th of his professional career. Adam Jones, as we have seen in the first 2 games of the series, gets a bigger and bigger ovation each at bat. Getting a nice hand from the crowd here in the 6th inning. Jones 2 for 2 tonight, has that batting average up to 283. And has 4 hits in this series. Corey Kluber lasted 5 innings tonight in his final start for the Indians. Threw 80 pitches in that outing. And gave up 3 runs against the Kansas City Royals. 7 walks, 2 hits, and 6 strikeouts. So saw his ERA bump up to 2.89. Blake Snell pitched well for Tampa Bay. They won their game. Games that matter in the playoff chase. Milwaukee and Detroit are tied at 5 in the 8th inning. Brewers need a win to move into a tie for first place in the Central. And a 3-1 pitch misses to Jones. He's on base for the 3rd time tonight. Valdez allowing a walk here with 1 out and 6.
The Astros Foundation invites you to join the volunteer corps and take part in various volunteer opportunities, including game day activities at Minute Maid Park, craft parties at local hospitals, and much more. For more information and to sign up, visit astros.com/volunteer.
Here's Trey Mancini. Mancini misses the breaking ball, strike one. Mancini, a couple of ground outs to Alex Bregman. Another game in the National League race that has impact tonight is Colorado trailing the Washington Nationals 5-1 in the third inning. If the Rockies lose that game, they would be tied with the Dodgers with one game to play in the NL West. Stays 0-2. Everybody will be off at the same time tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central. All 30 Major League teams will play their final game of the year, beginning within the same 10-minute window. Everybody adheres to their own 05, 07, 10, 15 start times, but it's all around 2 o'clock Central tomorrow. On the ground towards third. Backhanded Yuli. Throws to Tuve for one, and it's around the horn double play to get Fromber through the 6th inning. 2 innings of shutout baseball for Fromber Valdez.
These guys made it look a lot easier than it was, but how about the backhand picks? Not even a wasted motion, and a bullet to second base and an easy turn for Jose. Fromber getting out of that one. Astros lead 3-1.
By T-Mobile. Let's hear it for the rookie, Miles Straw, with his first Major League home run tonight, just days after getting his first Major League hit. And exciting to have him. Also got his first hugs for homers and participated in his first dugout stare. Checked all the boxes. He got that first Major League hit on Wednesday. That was in Toronto. Got a couple of them there. An infield single, though, for the very first one. And I told him, did you know, or I asked him, did you know that when you get your first Major League hit, that the club will pop champagne for you? He said, no, it was just a fun day for me, as it did happen on the same day that the Astros celebrated clinching the division. He said, I did hear it from a lot of my teammates, though, about that, and he is having a blast being in the big leagues. He said, I look to my right, I look to my left, and I'm looking at MVPs and some superstars up here and trying to soak it all in and learn as much as I can being around such talented guys. He said, this is just the best team I've ever been a part of, and I am really just having a really good time here in the big league club as long as I'm here.
Good for him. He's put together competitive at-bats, too, from what we've seen so far. Kyle Tucker takes a pitch, facing a new pitcher. Mike Wright Jr. has taken over for the Orioles.
Straw's really not out of the question to possibly be one of those burners they can bring off the bench in a playoff situation.
Yeah, that's going to
be a conversation.
That's going to be, he's going to be in the mix somewhere. He's going to at least be in the conversation, as he said. And as AJ told us a moment ago, we're going to see 14 position players and 11 pitchers. So figure your position players with Tyler White as the DH. You got your other 9 regulars, whoever the catcher is, plus Gurriel, Altuve, Correa, Bregman, Marwin, Springer, and Reddick. So that's 10, plus your second catcher, Maldonado or McCann, plus Jake, Marisnik, plus Tony Kemp. So that's 13. So your 14th spot is either Gaddis, Stassi, or is there room for a Miles Straw?
That's a great question.
We'll find out. Tucker fouls one back, a count of 1-2. Jeffrey Ramirez for 6 innings. And now Wright takes over in the 7th.
Seen a couple of fastballs and sliders from Wright. There's a slider down and in, averaging 93 miles an hour on his fastball in the season. Also has a changeup, curveball. He can cut it every once in a while too. There's his numbers on the season: 48th appearance, 72 strikeouts to 35 walks.
He's a guy that can go extended innings for Buck, and usually does. Out of the bullpen as he gets Tucker to pop one up left side of the infield. Nunez puts it away for out number 1. I'll bring up Jose Altuve. Altuve looking for his first hit tonight, which is unusual in a game here in Baltimore. He usually rakes at Camden Yards. Coming in .435 in his career in this stadium. A nice play by Wilkerson to retire him the 2nd time up. And here's a base hit. There's Altuve with the best road batting average in baseball with a single in his 4th at bat. Altuve also sent one deep to left field his last time all the way to the wall. Jose is very happy as he acknowledges George Springer in the dugout. Maybe George gave Altuve advice.
Could have. It's funny, Altuve looked like he was trying to go deep the first couple ABs and then said, forget it, I'm just going to get a base hit. He does.
Right. Here's Miles Straw. Straw has hit a solo home run back in the 1st inning, grounded out and lined out to right. Straw has now had 7 major league at-bats, 3 for 7, has put the ball in play all 7 times. With his speed, that's a good thing. Never know what's going to happen. You put the ball in play. Saw Altuve get down the line in 31 feet per second earlier in this game on a ground out on a nice play by Wilkerson. And then Straw, the next batter, got down the line in 30.8 feet per second.
Puts pressure on the defense when you know you've got to make a clean play in order to get that out.
Altuve with a little bit better speed, but then Straw was right behind him on this ground ball to short that PR knew he had to hurry. He flies.
I mean, you got to field a big league ground ball in 3.99 seconds to get it out. That ain't easy to do.
I asked AJ before the game, who would his 4x100 relay team be on this roster? Said Altuve would get the lead. He would start the race. Hand it off to George. George would hand it off to Jake, and then he would have Straw be the anchor.
Really?
Yeah.
That's saying something.
Inside, ball 4. The Astros have speed on the bases as Straw draws a walk. He and Altuve on base for Alex Bregman. Get Out in Play is presented by Toyota. Alex Bregman doubled to walk off the game. And when Max Stassi crossed the plate, number 12, that would be the 12th consecutive win for the Houston Astros as Bregman turned a possible defeat into a win with that walk-off. One of many with Alex at the plate this year.
Yeah, we've got all day tomorrow to look at some more of the good times that these guys had throughout 2018. We enjoyed watching them play, and J.D. Davis into pinch run for Jose Altuve. His night's over.
J.D. will probably stay in there at third and move Yuli Gurriel over to second base. Altuve ends the night 1 for 4. And here's Bregman. He has walked twice and struck out. Alex has continued that consecutive game streak on the road, reaching base 55 straight times with those walks tonight. Tomorrow could be the challenge for Alex to keep that streak alive. We heard AJ say he's going to keep his starters to limited at bats tomorrow, kind of similar to a spring training game. So Alex may only get a couple of opportunities to keep that on base streak going.
You say, do you start him and hope for the best, or you just?
It's a nice record. I'm not sure if AJ would protect him to just have him come off. I mean, either way, he's only going to get a couple.
It's the best.
He's already said, he already beat Baggy's record.
Yeah.
But it would be a shame if it's a 2 at bat.
Yeah, if he doesn't get the 4 ABs to really not do it.
Could see a good pitch here, 2-0. Wright struggling with the zone. Does see a good pitch and sends it to center field. J.D. Davis is going to tag up with Mullins camping under it. He's going to bluff. Throw actually comes to second. J.D. could have gone after all. That's 2 outs. 2 outs, 2 on, and that'll bring up Yuli Gurriel. We'll hear some of the comments from Justin Verlander in the final few innings of this game. But some interesting thoughts in between games as he was interviewed after his 6-inning, 3-hit shutout outing about the volume of his season, the innings that he put up.
No, he was really putting together a case.
Made a lot of sense, made a lot of valid points. I think at this point, and we'll get into it more after Yuli swings the first pitch, I think at this point it's either Snell or Verlander based on what happened tonight with Kluber giving up 3 more runs. All right, we head to the 7th inning here in Baltimore, 3-1 Houston, and we're going to send our broadcast to Kevin Eschenfelder and Mike Stanton in our Rooms to Go lounge.
and grinded for it. You know, it's not easy to get there, especially in the landscape of the game today. You know, back in the day, you know, 7, 8 years ago, I was throwing 240, 250 innings. Now you don't see anybody doing that. So, you know, crossing the 200 threshold is becoming more and more special. Like I said before, I think the ripple effect of those innings throughout the team, and what happens and how it can affect the team positively, with more than just you being out there, is important. But, you know, like I said, the body of work speaks for itself.
Verlander discussing his Cy Young Award case in between games there, as he had another impressive performance to close out his regular season. I think one of the things I found interesting, he said that the indicative stat for him would be whip, and he went on to talk about that a little bit. But he also said, you know, this will be a very interesting vote this year. He thinks this will change the landscape on how guys get the Cy Young Award. He said, you know, guys like Sale and Blake Snell, that you have to take a hard look at relievers if you're going to vote for guys who have lesser innings than the past. I mean, some of these guys with these spectacular numbers and less innings, it just brings in another group of guys that you have to consider. But as far as Verlander, he said, I'm pleased personally with what I've done so far this year. And that's about all he can do right now. He also said, I hope that everyone does their homework. We all know what happened a couple of years ago for Justin Verlander. We're taking a look here at some of the Cy Young contenders, guys.
And this is updated, so that includes Blake Snell's outing tonight and includes Corey Kluber's outing tonight. Snell's team won, but he did not pick up the victory, and with a 21-5 record. There's a reason why the Indians and the Astros have the fewest innings out of their bullpen, and for the Astros, a large part of that reason is those two guys on your screen now, along with Dallas Keuchel.
Yeah, and Justin Verlander really thought that thing through. I like the whip number 2. He leads Major League, or he leads the American League in whip. Blake Snell's right behind him, so it's a relatively close comparison. But there was also something else. I don't know if we'll hear it later in this game, but he also said, he goes, something should be said for facing a team 3 times every time you're on the mound. We know that Tampa Bay doesn't like that. They like to have their guys face the opposing lineup twice. Justin Verlander is not a guy that really believes in that. He believes if you're going to prove your worth and give your team a chance to win, good pitchers go out there and face that lineup 3 times. And there is something to be said for that, but that's how you get to the 200-inning threshold.
Yeah, that was an interesting comment, it was well thought out. It was his lowest whip of his career, too, including his American League Cy Young and MVP season of 2011.
Well, he recognizes his strikeout to walk ratio because he didn't give up many hits. The batting average against him was barely, I don't even know if it was close to 200.
So Snell ends up tonight with 5 innings, so he crosses 180 innings. But Justin ended up with 214, and he will also say, you know, back in the day, I used to go 240, 250 innings. That's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
214 is like the old 250. It's close. I mean, 215 is a big number. Kluber ended up with 1 more inning than him with the 5-inning outing tonight. But that's, you know, 34 more innings than Blake Snell, and I truly believe he's either going to finish first or second. I wasn't sure going into this month, but I truly believe right now that he's going to be the winner or the runner-up. He's already been runner-up twice, and he's won it once. It's going to be debated. It'll be a hot topic.
Does he have maybe 65 more strikeouts? Almost 70 more strikeouts than Blake Snell does.
He ended with 290. "34 innings. It's 5-7 inning starts roughly.
Yeah, that's a month, a little over a month.
That's a lot. Nunez fouls one at the plate. Stays 3-2. Framber Valdez in his 3rd inning of work. Picking up a double play to end the last inning and a ground ball to start this inning.
I like the conversations.
I do too.
I think they're great because you can really argue both points, and even Justin admitted that throughout the course of that interview too. He's like, you could, if you dig hard enough on the numbers, you're going to find some very good numbers on those guys, but his belief is that volume counts. But again, that's the beauty of baseball too, especially now in this analytic world that we live in baseball, is that you can pull out some numbers that can validate your story.
You mentioned Ken Rosenthal, respected voice in baseball, and he believes Verlander's the Cy Young Award winner.
And I believe, if I read the article correctly, he went into the conversation with Justin believing that Blake Snell had better numbers. And then JV kind of altered his thinking a little bit and made him look at the numbers. So it's great. But I also appreciate the fact that the last time out, Justin comes out and just absolutely dominates.
13 shutout innings to end his season, and he has never gone 4 consecutive starts striking out 10 or more, and that's what he did this year. He's in a different category. He gets stronger within a game and within the course of a season.
Yep.
It's hard to believe, but the guy's been amazing in his 2 Septembers with the Astros. ERA around 105 in his 10 starts. 3-2 the count on Nunez, who stays alive against Valdez. Astros bullpen is quiet, so this will be Fromber's inning. So he'll try and work 3 innings out of the bullpen. Brad Peacock was the bridge guy, pitched the 4th inning. Alex Keuchel pitched the first 3. There's a walk. Second walk issued by Fromber Valdez. League leaders are presented by Houston Methodist. Justin Verlander in his career has never had a better whip, has never had more strikeouts, has never had a better strikeout percentage. Strikeouts per 9 the best, FIP. Started the day at 285. I guess it went up to 288, but his all-time lowest was 280. And then his opponent average is 200.
And that whip that he's talking about is best in baseball.
Ground ball towards the hole. Tough play. Bregman, he's going to try and make it for first, and everybody's safe. Oh, a chopping hit by John Andrioli. Tom Alex might have looked at second, but he decided to try and make the long throw. Andrioli with good speed.
Yeah, that would have been back across Alex's body a little bit more, but would have been the shorter throw.
While we're on the topic of awards, do you have a thought about either Rookie of the Year or MVP in this league?
I would believe Shohei.
You like Shohei?
Yeah, wins Rookie of the Year.
Lance getting warm in the Astros bullpen. Yeah, what he's done with continuing to play offensively.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the 20 home runs, the pitching in X amount of games until he ended up getting hurt was kind of cool.
And neither Yankee to me separated one from the other. They both had great years, Andujar and Torres. And I kind of like Mookie. I mean, obviously Bregman, we love Breggs.
Yeah, but he's kind of.
I kind of like Mookie in the MVP voting.
I do too. How about Christian Yelich?
No.
In the National League side. I mean, we talk about the Brewers as a team competing for that National League Central. The main reason is Christian Yelich.
He's doing it in huge spots.
Huge spots, clutch hits, and just putting up mad numbers to finish out this season.
Last I saw, they were still tied with the Tigers, who were giving them a ball game tonight. Milwaukee trying to move into a first-place tie with the Cubs in the Central. Here's Austin Wynns, 2 on and 1 out. Saw Lance McCullers Jr. begin to warm up in the Astros bullpen. Fromber Valdez trying to preserve this 3-1 lead. Wynns was the first batter Valdez faced in the 5th inning. Found a ground out to short. He would take a repeat here.
In Justin Verlander's case too, I know he could have had more wins, but I don't think that's going to affect the voting at all.
No, it's funny. It's almost like
it's an afterthought, the win-loss record these days.
I mean, Jacob deGrom
Yeah. Because that is definitely a team number as far as wins and losses for a pitcher.
One and one.
That's why there's whips and strikeout numbers and all those other individual numbers that give you a good idea if a guy's had a great season, because bullpens contribute to that win-loss and anemic offenses at home.
I don't know what Julia thinks about this.
When you think back to all of Justin Verlander's starts this year, how many of them, you know, we talked about the no decisions that he got. I mean, it was almost fitting the way today's game went for him for how this season has gone. So you have to wonder if, you know, if he comes out on the winning side and he ends up with 20-something wins. Isn't he the Cy Young Award winner?
I know that used to be that magic number, the 20-win season. Does it make him stand out more if he has the 20-plus wins?
It's funny because I think Snell gathered more attention when he got to 20 wins.
I agree. It's a number that pops these days.
Justin ended up back-to-back starts going 6 shutout innings and back-to-back starts getting a no decision. Ended with 16 wins. You could factor in a couple of other no decisions. The one we showed you earlier against the Yankees, the 8 shutout innings, was a no decision game. Had an 8-inning game against Texas where he allowed 1 hit, 1 run on a solo home run and struck out 11. That was a no decision. So that's 20 right there. Your last 2 starts, your Yankee start and that Texas start. Ooh. You get any support. Justin's sitting on 20 wins right now.
And that's just a quick peek at the notes.
Right.
He really did some investigating and maybe gave the, Verlander that 4+ number. If he hits just 4 runs in some of those wins, he's well over 20.
Ball 4, that'll be a walk, and the bases will be filled with Orioles, and A.J. Hinch is going to go get Framber Valdez, who has had issues with command. He walks 3 tonight in 2 1/3 innings and will leave with the bases loaded. Lance is going to come into a bases loaded 1-out situation when we come back in this 3-1 game. But he comes in with the bases loaded and 1 out.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a test. It probably doesn't have that playoff atmosphere, but at the same time, it's a situation where A.J. Hinch wants to see Lance McCullers come in. You want to see him command the strike zone. You also want to see that swing and miss type stuff. We saw it last time out in Toronto where he pitched an inning against the Blue Jays, had 1 strikeout through 11 pitches. It was a relatively strong outing. A little bit of an issue with the fastball command, but that curveball right there with Lance again.
Lance will face a pinch hitter here with the bases loaded. Corbin Joseph will pinch hit for Steve Wilkerson and bat with the Orioles down 2 and the bases filled, 1 out in the 7th. Framber Valdez allowing an infield hit and a couple of walks in this inning. And Lance starts with a fastball or breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1. Joseph was the DH in the first game of this series. Went 1 for 2 with a double. Lance quickly ahead 0-2.
It's kind of what you expect to see from Lance. That's his best swing and miss pitch, is that curveball, and he is not afraid to lean on it.
Bounces in there, gets away from McCann. The run trying to score, and safe at home plate is Nunez. It's a one-run game.
As a pitcher, you've got to be able to bury it in the dirt and have your catcher knock it down. This one squirts away from McCann. Did his best to try and recover. Ball got there, but just a tough tag for the pitcher covering home.
Infield comes in on this 1-2 pitch with runners at second and third. Swing and a miss. Lance gets the strikeout of the pinch hitter Corbin Joseph. That's out number 2. I'll bring up Cedric Mullins. A.J. Hinch warning his infielders about the possibility of a bunt here with Mullins. And he takes a pitch for a strike. Fastball at 96. One-run baseball. It seems like that's all we've seen in this series. 2-1 last night, 4-3 game 1, and this game at 3-2. Lance ahead of the count 0-2. So that's a good point you made, because now it's 0-2. He wants to break off that nasty snapdragon, but you also have to be concerned with the guy on third as the tying run.
In order to be able to bounce that thing up there, you got to be pretty confident in your catcher being able to knock it down.
Sure, B-Mac will do everything he can to smother this if it is a curveball in the dirt. Instead, it's on the ground towards Hewlett. He has it on a couple of hops, and Lance McCullers Jr. gets through a tough spot, allows the one run on the wild pitch, but the Astros still have a 3-2 lead.
Tonight's Chevy Stropole, thanks for voting. Which Astros player is your 2018 Newcomer of the Year? Martin Maldonado. Very popular player to vote for these days in our Chevy Stropole. 41% of the vote. Just beats Ryan Presley. I saw Machete at work last night. Okay.
Yeah, we did. Thrown out 5 of 8 base runners since becoming an Astro. As Tyler White leads off.
Yeah, I think the nickname carries a lot of weight in that voting poll. The Machete.
I like Ryan Presley getting 38%. He's had quite an Astros.
Hey, don't discount Astro fans. They understand the whole spin rate thing, and Ryan Presley has been extremely impressive since coming over to the Astros.
Hey, we showed that 7th inning and later graphic in the first game. It worked out. Tyler White got a base hit.
Let's do it again.
Here he is in the 8th in a 3-2 game. He always likes the shark attacks late. Nope, this one's going to be cued towards the first baseman Mancini. That'll be out number 1 here in the 8th inning. Tyler 0 for 4 tonight. Now bring up Evan Gadd. Devo Kristovinsky looks like he'll have the bottom half of the 8th inning. The Orioles don't realize this, but they're actually playing to try and preserve the 1969 Baltimore Orioles mark of a plus 262 run differential, which would be the 3rd best in the last 50 years, only behind the 98 Yankees and the 2001 Seattle Mariners. Baltimore in 69 had a plus 262, but the Astros right now are plus 264. They came in tied with Baltimore, and they've had a couple of 1-run wins, but Buck's crew hasn't made it easy on the Astros here, trying to get their franchise record 103 wins as Gaddis sends one to short. And there's 2 away in the 8th. Took a great catch by Jake last night to pick up that win, and then a Carlos Correa clutch 2-out RBI double in game 1 of this doubleheader in the 9th inning. This game's a 1-run game. Here's Brian McCann, hit a home run his last time up, 1 for 3 with his 7th home run of the season. Right now, that's the difference in this game.
Getting some help down there in the stands. Could it possibly happen again?
Double McCann ball into the inner harbor.
I may just throw my headset out the booth and go home.
Ooh, that was a pitch.
That was a good swing, too.
Opposite way, foul.
Hit it pretty hard. Not as hard as this one, though. Look back at that McCann ball, elevated fastball. How about him bringing the hands up to it and hammering it out of right field? It's a good sign.
Hey, Brian McCann goes the other way down the left field line. How about that base hit the other way?
Interesting to see the catcher set up, wanting the pitch up, and McCann just gets on top of it and rockets it the other way. Very hitterish. That's just another added element, too, for Brian McCann. It could be an interesting situation if they bring in a tough right-hander late in the game. He pinch hits for Martin Maldonado. So it's good that he's getting these ABs and getting that confidence back, too. Especially with the thumb. Some left-handed power in the lineup for the Astros.
Jake Bereznik facing Mike Wright Jr. Jake will be the last guy in the lineup to face this Orioles right-hander. He's in his second inning of work. Started out his outing in the 7th by facing Kyle Tucker, who's on deck. Jake 0 for 2, but drew a bases-loaded walk for an RBI. And the count's 1-1 on Jake. Dallas Keuchel for 3 innings tonight. Brad Peacock for an inning. 2 and change for Framber Valdez, and Lance McCullers big couple of outs there with the bases loaded. Did throw a wild pitch to score one of the inherited runs, but did a good job keeping the lead. When we were talking about clutch hits or home runs for Christian Yelich, as we were talking, he hit a home run in the 7th inning to give the Brewers a 1-run lead over Detroit.
Guy is unbelievable.
That ball's hit down the left field line. It's got a chance, and it is gone! Jake Marisnick, a 2-run home run. He reaches double figures on the year with his 10th.
No way.
Wynn caught it?
Of course he did. That's how this season's going.
It had to be Wynn. Jake Marisnick, a 2-run home run, and Wynn catches hit his left.
Jake from Rake Farm handing out souvenirs to the Astros faithful. Have a week. Best life ever.
Interviewed by Julian Toronto.
I critique his swing, and now he makes a play.
Made MLB Network because of his BP session in, where were we, Detroit for the BP session?
Oh.
Reached in front of the Machado fan.
Yeah, he did.
This is unbelievable.
One can't be denied.
Oh, that's too good.
That's like the Captain Joe Foster odds earlier, who caught the home run by Bregman and had the fan interference with Stassi batting over Piscotty.
Oh my gosh.
Have you guys seen the dugout stare yet from that?
From Jake?
Yes.
We were so engrossed in the catch.
I know you were, but I
Was it a
can't
good
wait
one?
for you to see it.
I can't believe what I'm seeing.
It's a lot of awesome. with that
It's
home run.
almost too much. I can't handle it.
His buddy's got the same suit.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah. It's Astros camouflage.
Oh, Kyle Tucker rips one down the right field line. That'll be extra bases. Tucker heading towards second. This will be the second double of his big league career, and he is there with 2 outs. 3 consecutive hits for the Astros, and a smile.
Oh, I don't know what's crazier.
I'm leaving.
Yep, that's it. That's all you can do, TK. You've seen it all now. TK is gone. Well, we're going to go back to that Jake Marisnick swing.
So this will be this.
Fights it off and hits it to win. Makes the play. And all of our excitement, we forgot about getting in the dugout because of the enthusiasm.
I got to see what Julie was talking about.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see it now.
And Kyle Tucker smiled.
That is mind-blowing.
Yeah, that's a big inning.
I'm glad you're back. I panicked.
Yeah. Love my Tampa boys showing a little excitement out there. Here's J.D. Davis.
Crazier thing to happen tonight.
All right, before we go to break, we're going to see it.
Our Astro buddy catching the home run. Miles Straw hitting a home run.
Oh, he's reading all his text.
Or, oh, he's tweeting. Come on, no text.
Go ahead.
Or Kyle Tucker smiling.
I love it. 5-2 game now.
I love the fan interaction, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Between Twitter and watching the games and having fans traveling everywhere to watch this team. It has been an absolute blast to see the fans interact with this ball club.
So obviously with Wen traveling all around, he's got an opportunity with that outfit to get noticed by our cameras, but he's taking BP in Comerica Park in Detroit. Our handheld camera happens to be there, shoots him. It ends up, we break it down, you break it down, MLB Network breaks it down. So that's part one of his adventure. And then Toronto, Julia spots him, boom, little fan interaction on a Twitter Tuesday. Crazy outfits was our theme. You got me there showing me the picture of Jake and Tony. And so Wentz on our broadcast in Toronto. And now tonight catches the home run there by Jake Marisnick.
How great for Jake, too. The catch-off home run last night and then hits a big home run for insurance here in this game in the 8th inning. That is good stuff. But again, you can't make this up. This is happening.
Going to break, you're going to see the hugs for homers and the dugout stare challenge combined as one.
It's going to be incredible.
Good stuff. Stay tuned. JD fouls one away.
Yeah, we don't want him to be done. We want him to keep scoring some runs.
JD pinch ran for Jose Altuve last inning. Stayed in there at third base. Yuli moved from third to second. Astros leading 5-2 in the 8th. Looking to win their franchise record 103rd game of the season. And a foul tip caught by Austin Wynns. But Jake, definitely from Rake Farm, goes deep. And the celebration afterwards was special after this catch by our buddy Wynn in left field.
Coca-Cola Shooting Stars team. Shooting Stars are ambassadors of the Astros brand in and around Houston throughout the year. For more information about the auditions, visit astros.com/shooting stars. TK.
All right, Julia. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Astros will go to their 5th pitcher of the night. Lance McCullers Jr. getting out of a big spot in the 7th inning, and Chris Davinsky takes over.
Devo will make that 49th appearance here tonight. Game sitting at 5-2 right now. 50 strikeouts and 13 walks for Chris Davinsky.
High fly ball in the left field. Miles Straw waits for it, puts it away, out number 1. Adam Jones get his last at bat and he'll get a nice hand here. Good series for Adam Jones. He's been on base all 3 times. Couple doubles, couple singles, and a walk in this series.
Good changeup. We talk about confidence on the hitter side. It's also tough to get that confidence back for pitchers. Devo's one of those guys trying to get that confidence back. There's a well-located changeup. He starts to see the baseball out of the hand, and that changeup going where he wants, it usually ends up to be pretty good.
Ball in the air way up there. Plenty of time for Kyle Tucker to get under. First time Jones has been retired in this game, and there's 2 away. Bring up Trey Mancini, who has grounded out twice and grounded into a double play a 3rd time. Julia Morales on Twitter not only captured the combo of hugs for homers and dugout stare challenge, but she got a smiling George Springer in the same shot. Wow, that's really well played.
Nailed it. Well, they're having fun in there. It's hard to take a picture of that dugout with somebody not smiling.
I would imagine, especially on the cusp of becoming the best Houston Astros team ever.
Yeah, it was funny going around the league in the first couple months, and people were like, hey, how good is this team? And you and I kept saying, they're better than last year. And people were like, what?
Yeah, they couldn't believe that.
Like, you guys won the World Series last year. Yeah, this team is better.
Yes.
Than 2017. Ground ball to 3rd. J.D. Davis gobbles it up and makes the play across. Good inning for Devo. 1, 2, 3, 8th. We head to the 9th in a 5-2 game.
Smith reflects on his first season, and we head to Round Rock as the Astros hop aboard the Express. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded tonight after the postgame show only on AT&T Sportsnet.
9th inning baseball. Astros with a 5-2 lead. Buck only using 2 pitchers in this game, at least to this point. Mike Wright Jr. going back out there for his 3rd inning of work after Jeffrey Ramirez pitched the first 6 innings in this game. Tomorrow might be the Johnny bullpen day for Buck, as he hasn't announced a starter. Straw up the middle, hits the pitcher. He'll have to recover in a hurry, which he does, to get Straw for the first out. Mike Wright making the play for the first out of the night. Astros in 2018 and 1998. The Astros with a chance to set the franchise record for most wins ever.
It's pretty impressive how many runs that 98 team is scoring, even though they didn't hit that many home runs. It's tough to hit home runs in the Astrodome. We all know that. But 5.39 runs per game. But I think that almost 5 runs a game for the Astros and that combination of the ERA is what makes them so incredible. And that's why Todd and I said that this team might be that much better, is because of the pitching.
Yeah, to further our conversation that we had bottom half of the 8th inning, you know, it is a better team, and not just because they won 103 games and dealt with injuries to Correa and Altuve and Springer. It's because their pitching we knew was going to be better this year. You can't add a Justin Verlander and a Garrett Cole and not get exponentially better. And those guys came through all year long.
And we expected Garrett Cole to be good and the Astros to be good, but I think even Garrett Cole exceeded our expectations as far as the strikeout numbers are concerned.
Hey, it was something special this year. Have those two leading the way in the rotation, and Dallas Keuchel another 200-inning season. Charlie Morton, chance to start 30 games for the first time in his career. Britton cues one to the right side. Wright will hand the ball off for out number 2. So 2 outs in the 9th. And Yuli will get one more at bat. Tomorrow, the Astros finish off the 2018 regular season with to be announced against to be announced, although we believe it's going to be Charlie Morton. That will be determined in A.J. Hinch's press conference afterwards, unless Julia got the scoop from Charlie earlier tonight.
Yes, Charlie will go tomorrow. He played catch right before the first game this afternoon just to make sure there was no soreness or any discomfort in that right shoulder. We hadn't talked to him since he left that start. Remember, the velo was down for him, and just felt a few things, had a few days off. Obviously, there was a family affair with 4th child being born as well, but that was a good break for him. Tomorrow is a big test, though, he said, physically and mentally, just to kind of get right. And it's been a lot of innings this year. It was a lot of innings for him last year, but tomorrow we'll see how he feels after that one.
The second most regular season innings of his career, and a chance if he starts, which he sounds like he will now, that'll be his first 30 start season of his career.
He was also very grateful for the FaceTime call. Remember, we talked about that during the celebration, George calling him right before they popped the champagne, so he was able to be a part of it. What we learned, though, was that Cindy, his wife, had just been put in a delivery room and was talking to the doctors while George had called him. So he said he was trying to pay attention to what the doctors were saying, but also wanting to be a part of what was going on in the clubhouse. And eventually, George was trying to stay a little bit further out. He didn't want to get his phone messed up with all the champagne that was flying around. So finally he said, just get off the phone, go enjoy it. George, thank you. I appreciate the call. Very thoughtful.
What a moment for Charlie Morton, having a baby and celebrating a division championship at the same time. Ryan Presley will get the bottom of the 9th in a 5-2 game. Brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Arctic. Overbuilt, not overpriced. We go to the bottom half of the 9th inning from Oriole Park in Camden Yards. Astros using their 6th pitcher of the night, 5th out of the bullpen. In this 3-run game, Ryan Presley gets the baseball.
Mr. Spin has done a great job since becoming an Astro. His whip getting closer to that 1 mark, but he is 1 strikeout away from that century mark. Ryan Presley, a fine addition to the back end of this Astros bullpen.
He has been amazing with the Astros, a 0.81 ERA. 30 walks to 2 strikeouts, 30 strikeouts to 2 walks with Houston as he faces Tim Beckham, who swings the first pitch and fouls 1 back. Presley does have a save with the Astros, looking for his 2nd tonight. Scoring got started in the 1st inning on a home run by Miles Straw, probably the most improbable on this Houston roster to hit a home run. Only 3 in the minor leagues and over 1,500 at bats. Then a bases loaded walk to Jake Marisnick made it 2-1. Brian McCann added to the lead with a solo home run of his own to make it 3-1. Orioles scored a run to make it 3-2 on a wild pitch, and now a 5-2 game after Jake Marisnick's 2-run home run. Jake has driven in 3 of the 5 runs tonight. And Beckham with a count of 2-1. Presley had 1 save while with the Minnesota Twins in 2016, and then 1 earlier this year with the Astros. Three and 1. Beckham 1 for 3 in this game. 3 for 7 in the doubleheader. Sends 1 deep but fouled. Full count. In the air, left field. Miles Straw camped under it. Astros were unbelievable on the road last year with 53 road wins, and they've outdone themselves this year.
It is unbelievable. The previous record at 104, and they are jumping well past that, trying to get to 110. But over 6 runs a game on the road. Last year, and then this year, 2.88 road ERA, best in Major League since 1988. There's that Verlander-Cole duo that we talk so much about, but what a combination of great pitching on the road and phenomenal hitting.
Mentioned earlier, the bullpens for the Indians and the Astros have been the most rested bullpens in all of baseball this year. Indians bullpen has not performed this year like they have in the past. The Astros bullpen has put up the best numbers in all of baseball this year.
And the Indians have been good of late, but overall, the entire season, this bullpen has been very good.
Yeah, I hate to keep harping on the fact that the Central's weak, but I know lately they've been good, but they've also been playing a lot of games within their division. No, I feel guilty because they're major league games and they count. Tonight necessarily didn't work out for the Indians bullpen. It was Kluber giving up 3, and then they gave up 6 more to the Royals after Kluber left the game. But yeah, you're getting major league outs, but it is a lot of those numbers have come recently facing the AL Central, which is easily the weakest division.
The Indians are 48-27 within their division. The Astros 25-7 against the Central. So you could almost triple those numbers, or double up in those numbers at least, to see what the Astros would have done within that division. That would have been incredible.
Yeah, and it goes back to why I don't like the tiebreaker. Yankees are going to beat Oakland overall on the record, so they're not going to need the tiebreaker. But I don't like the tiebreaker that if the A's and the Yankees would have finished tied, first tiebreaker season series, and then the second tiebreaker is your record within the division. I don't like that because it's not a true.
The divisions aren't evenly matched.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's more a truer gauge if it's your record outside of your division. If you're going to a tiebreaker in that case, unless it's two teams that are in the same division playing each other in the wild card and looking for home field advantage, then you can use your own division. But it's apples and oranges to me. This year, it was AL East versus AL West. If it was Oakland and New York, that would have been ended up tied, which they aren't. I'd just like to see that tiebreaker get changed. 3-2 pitch is low, and only the third walk allowed by Presley as an Astro as he walks Renato Nunez here with 1 out in the 9th. Going to get a pinch hitter here. DJ Joseph, who hit a 3-run home run. Excuse me, DJ Stewart, who hit a 3-run home run in game 1 of this doubleheader, is going to pinch hit here for John Andrioli. And 1 the count. Brewers lead their game 6-5 over the Tigers, bottom half of the 8th. If Milwaukee wins that game, they will be tied with the Cubs in the NL Central. Rockies are trailing in their game 6-2 to the Nationals in the 7th. If the Rockies lose that game, they will be tied with the Dodgers for first place in the NL West. We have a chance to have 2 divisions in the National League in a dead heat going into the final day on Sunday. Stay tuned. I like that last graphic that was just shown there, the month of September record.
No, that's a very good point. This is record-wise, this has been their best month of the year. So that tells you they're finishing strong.
20-5 in the month of September. That is an .800 winning percentage. Swing and a miss. Presley picks up a strikeout of the pinch hitter DJ Stewart. And the Orioles down to their final out. We'll send up another pinch hitter. It'll be the left-hand hitting Jace Peterson. He started the first game of this series. Peterson hits for the catcher Austin Wynns. Astros 1 out away from a franchise record 103rd win of the season. Foul at the plate. Presley picked up his save this year earlier for the Astros in a game at Comerica Park, a 1-inning save and a 5-4 win on September 12th. Looking for his second save of the year and his third of his major league career. Drops in that pitch for a strike, and the Astros 1 strike away, 1-2 the count to Peterson. They've already locked up the American League West for the second straight year. They've already locked up the number 2 seed in the American League playoffs. And now trying for the franchise record 103rd victory. And a 5-1 record on this final road trip of the season.
A lot of let's go Stros.
third strike, ball game over. Astros win 5-2. 103 wins for the 2018 Houston Astros, a new franchise record.
Congratulations to those guys. Played extremely well the entire season. And congratulations to A.J. Hinch on the 4-year anniversary of him signing his contract to become the Houston Astros manager.
A.J. Hinch in 2018 has seen more wins in one season than any other Astros manager in franchise history. They break the record of the 1998 Astros. Now 45 games over 500. Also a new high water mark in Astros franchise history. Congratulations to the entire Astros organization. They sweep the doubleheader.